I actually didn't know you were like an ice hockey. Like,
I like the game.
oh. That's why, like, when I even saw that, I was like, oh, I didn't know, like, IDEO actually played ice hockey.
I play sometimes. My brother was actually like a player.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, but it happens. It happens. Like last time he was playing with one of the Kalpas boys in the outside. So, but my brother actually knows how to play.
Whoa.
Yeah, like he actually knows how to skate backwards and upwards, and
He's a winter guy.
he's a real.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a real
Like
deal.
us.
He's a real deal. But then,
Me ski?
but then he can shoot. He can throw a football like nobody else, like American football.
Oh, the
Really?
Yeah, he can throw it like nobody else. He has a hand on it. Like
that's
No.
that's extra word. You know?
he doesn't know those. He doesn't know those things.
Oh, when you start flicking the.
But hey, as you can see, welcome back everybody. Opinion Outlaws over here. And today we have a guest. For a long time we haven't had a guest. And it's a good refreshment, as I can say. As you can say.
Has been very racially motivated.
Exactly. Now I feel outsider. I have a hockey stick, but don't worry about that. And you know our motto.
Self-protection.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Two black guys.
You know, maybe. And you know our motto, the only thing that you cannot say is you cannot say that. And I could say that before that we continue this conversation, before we even start to think about the conversation, there are a few buttons over there on our bottom of the video.
Yeah, the work. You gotta start putting the work right here.
Alright.
You know what to do? You know what to do? You know, you see this thing right here, down here? You better press it. You know, you better press it. Then you see the next thing down here. You better press it too. Unless you're a little bit, you better press it. And as usual, we prefer you to comment down below if you ain't scared. You know, we enjoy reading your comments as well. And that's pretty much it. Let's give it a moment. Yeah, they're good. So
I think they covered it. Yeah.
gotta make sure, you know, gotta keep them.
Gotta clarify, you know, like
Exactly.
prerequisites before we started.
Exactly. And we have a subject today called belonging in the community / groups. But we will start off with, of course, the importance at first. You know us, but you don't know him. So, would you introduce us, tell us your background, tell what you want to tell about yourself, of course.
This ain't no, investigation or like we ain't keeping you hostage all of a sudden. Like you better put the word out there, like what you doing.
Background check.
Yeah, making sure you ain't illegal or nothing like that. We ain't doing that.
Nah.
Yeah, stage is yours.
Yeah, like basically, so yeah, my name is Kentucky. I'm Kentucky Nyongwane. And
tell me.
basically from Mozambique, Maputo, capital city.
Shout out.
Born and raised. And I mean, been living in Finland for, 7 years. And I mean, currently studying IT and...
So unemployed.
yeah.
As we said, unemployed.
Literally.
Unemployed.
All right. And actually, this is a good conversation starter because we have discussed it. We have discussed it, this thing that, and the topic is the belonging, right? So my question to you, I would actually start off about your personal experience. Of course, like I said, as much as you want to share, you share. As much as you don't want, you don't want. When you were at Mozambique, the belonging there, was it like natural, like you didn't think about it at all, or how did you experience it? And then when you came here in Finland, how did you experience the actual term, in a sense, belonging? And then the perspective, I want to hear, like, how did you then view the place that you were, that where you came from? How did you view that, okay, this is the feeling here as a belonging, in a sense? Your own experience.
You might chop it up a little bit because that might be a big portion that he has to
Okay,
answer
well,
at the same time. So give him a little slice at a time.
I don't know. I'm asking this maybe. Just start off from the beginning and then go from there.
Okay.
Do something.
No, not do something, but tell us your experience in Mozambique and then the contrary to Finland when you came.
Okay. So, I mean, in Mozambique, for me, I would say it was mostly, I mean, obviously, you know, I felt like great belonging there because it's obviously like where I'm from. You know, I was basically born there and, you know, I grew up there. You know, my whole family is from there as well. And, you know, kind of being raised in that environment and culture, you kind of obviously get accustomed to that as well. And also like, yeah, just basically just being there and kind of being like used to being around your own people and like you're all kind of on the same page when it comes to how you do things and, you know, you already know like the, you know, certain culture, like certain morals that we have. So I would say, yeah, definitely you feel like a great belonging there because, yeah, that's where you're from, I think, basically. I think no matter where you go, or at least where I go, like it would always be a part of, you know, my life being from like Mozambique and kind of, it's not something that I would take away, or like that would be like exited from my life. So yeah, for sure, like I would say there, like being from there and like being born and raised there, like yeah, I felt like a great belonging. And I think moving here to Finland, like for sure, yeah, it does change in a sense. Like I do feel like, you know, I think we even like spoke about it a bit before, like, you know, I do fit into Finland, but I mean, in terms of like belonging, I wouldn't say that I might belong here in a sense, because maybe to an extent, you know, you kind of, I mean, obviously, like knowing the language and everything, you might still feel, or at least people might make you feel like you're an outsider in a sense, like, okay, like, yeah, you're not really one of us in a sense, but yeah, like, but I mean, for the most part, I'd say here, it hasn't been like, I mean, it's not like I've been kind of completely excluded. I mean, I guess for the most part, you can have those feelings of being excluded in certain, like, let's say, like, if, you know, people make plans and you're not invited and stuff like, and also, like, you go to, like, social events and, like, people don't really kind of talk to you, basically. Or, like, they kind of don't make you feel included in activities. So, in that sense, yeah. Because, like, for example, I mean, I don't know if I kind of exceeded the question yet. No. But, like, because, like, you know, for example, in Mozambique, where I'm from, like, it's, even if you're, like, a foreigner, basically, if you come there and like you're meeting people, it's very normal to like people call you to a certain event, like, you know, to a party or to a birthday. Like people are like very welcoming. But like I feel like here it's more like people can be a bit like, okay, they kind of, you know, they might talk to you and like have a conversation and everything, but just kind of like a certain level of, you know, you will kind of socialize you until this point, and then we don't really go beyond that unless maybe they know you, you know, better. But then that's also like, I mean, it's like it takes a very long time for people to get adjusted to you here, basically. So
I like you said a couple of like terms in your when you explained on the belonging part, and one of them, the recent one, when you said that. Compared when somebody comes to Mozambique, they will be included in certain situations almost immediately. Is it kind of like a cultural thing, or is there some other, like, how would I say, part that causes that when you come, example, to Finland, you won't be included immediately compared to Mozambique?
Yeah, I mean, wait, sorry, you might say your question.
Yeah, because like I'm asking, like, is that kind of like a culture thing that is going on? Why, example, when somebody visits to Mozambique, somebody who clearly is not from that area, like was born somewhere else, and they're included immediately in, is it more of a cultural thing, or is there another thing in a play that is causing that?
Oh, I would say it's definitely a culture thing. Like it's people naturally in Mozambique, we're like naturally very welcoming people.
Open.
Like we're quite open, and yeah, we're naturally just very welcoming, basically. So
Yes, because to your story, we can actually put it into comparison to us. Because one of us, I would say, I'm slightly kind of like a hybrid of y'all too. Because I was not born here. I came here when I was around 5. I was turning 6 that year, so I'm pretty adapt to the culture. And my brother right here, he was actually born here, so he kind of had the quote unquote the full experience from the like
Full spectrum.
full spectrum. Because the reason why I say that, because like you mentioned, when you were born in Mozambique, you kind of like automatically adapt to the culture. You take it all in, so you're kind of like, since you were born, you immediately kind of like belong into that society. But our brother right here, even though he was born here and adapted to the language and all that, the culture kind of came in. Of course, to a culture at the same time, because you still maintained your own native culture. But about the belonging part, did it match with you? Kind of in the same sense as he mentioned that when he was born then and he grew up in that culture, he kind of like felt belonging. How about you?
Just one simple answer: no. He didn't.
Could you open it?
I can open it. Well, basically, even if I was born here, to the Finnish, it didn't matter. Because you looked different, you spoke different, you behaved different, you carried yourself differently. You had, we call it, now the younger say aura. Aura.
Aura farming.
Aura farming. But we say energy, we say vibe. I was completely different towards them. And then now, because I was that different, the belonging, it didn't matter. It didn't matter because you were still a different guy. Even though, like you said, we both have accustomed to the culture, the language, we can speak fluently. Example of a fluently. I have done my thesis in Finnish. And it's an example of a thesis, like you can look it up.
That's quite impressive, actually.
It is in my name, actually. You can actually find it in the internet. You just type my name and you can find it.
All right.
And
We'll probably do that.
I have the credit where credit is due. But the fact is that even though I have all this credit, I know history, Finnish history better than any Finn in many places. But the fact is, I was still an outsider.
Yeah, actually, because that's why I asked you earlier that even when an outsider come to Mozambique, they will still feel very welcomed here. So was it caused by culture? That's why I asked you then later on that you kind of have the same situation but in a different place, that you were brought up in a different place. How has it caused? And you mentioned that because you spoke, you look a little bit different and you might have different aura, as he mentions. Different aura. He's building up like a villain character all of a sudden. Like you had a little different aura, but you still knew the language and all that. You didn't still like felt like you belong in. So my question to that, actually my second thing would come back to the thing that you actually slipped out, and it was the fitting in. So we didn't feel like we belong, because in my background, when I came in, I already know I didn't belong. let's I'm gonna be honest. I didn't feel. Of course, I was young, so people could say I was like 5. So I technically remember a lot of things.
Actually, a question: when did you move to Finland? Actually,
2005.
Okay.
2000,
so how old were you?
Same age as him. So 99. So 20. Freaking hell! I'm so old that nowadays I gotta like remind myself how old I am.
26, bro.
27 this year. Even worse. And you know what's weird? Off topic. One kid called me, one of my friends like, "See, bro, you're an unk now." I'm like,
I saw that coming, bro.
I was like, wait, what? He told me, "Bro, you're old." I'm like, so this is how we feel when some people start disrespecting with your age. Like, you is an unk now. I'm like, crazy, damn, bro. But yeah, I came like in 2005, early spring. I came at the worst time, you know.
So you were like 5, 6 years old, I guess.
Yeah, 5, because I'm like late. I'm early, first week of November. I was born first, so I was 5, and the same year I turned 6. So, and I came during the early spring. I've been telling the story. So I came. Imagine I lived in Egypt before I came here.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So I was born in Sudan. We lived there for quite a while, and then when I was 4, we moved to Egypt, and then we were there for like little less than a year.
Oh.
And then we came to Finland. So I still, till this day, the image is engraved to my head when we travel here, because the Egypt is a pretty hectic place.
Yeah.
And even though, because it's a neighboring country, I can add up the belonging part to it. Even though you know what Egypt, somebody from Egypt looks like, kind of Arabic tone and a little lighter. And even though we're a little different, we still could feel like we belong to some degree. We had our own beefs and all that, but we spoke Arabic to each other. So that's a little different than what was going on here. So I remember, it's a hectic place, shit-going noises all over the place, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's really tightly, like, we lived really tightly over there because a lot of people, like, in one apartment had, like, a bunch of people and so on. Because if I remember right, we were in the, like, capital, the Cairo.
Yeah, Cairo,
Yeah, so then in itself, when we came to Finland, like I mentioned, we came early spring. Area was gray, like, there was nothing green. I couldn't see nothing green. Like, that's the first image that was like imprinted in my head. There was nothing green over here. It was grayish and nobody was outside. That's how I knew what the
Streets are empty.
streets are empty. Like,
that's when you know that.
like I was for a moment I started questioning like where we came to, because imagine you're 5.
Like leaves falling down. Is that?
Bro, shamo. I'm like, what's going on? Like, it was all gray. For a good part to me, I was young. I was surprisingly social person in a sense that, when we went actually, like you mentioned, we were childhood friends. So we went through the same elementary school and all that. So we kind of saw same things at all. So during the elementary school, I learned the language pretty quickly. Like in 2 months, I was pretty fluent on it already.
Wow.
So, because I was young, so it was much more easier for me to adapt to the language than somebody like my parents, for example. They still, till this day, even though they know how to speak it, you can still hear the certain sentences sounds very off, but So for me, I knew I didn't belong, because as you can see our skin tone right here, you never feel like you belong. You kind of you get that automatic like treatment. You do not belong. I felt like I'm more fitted in here and there because that I knew the language, but I never felt like I belong. So that's probably pretty much, and also the culture is different, because our culture is noticeable. It kind of clashes to some degree of us being talking with everybody, but then in this culture you're kind of like money your own business, you don't talk with strangers.
Exactly. It's like you can literally, like, I remember even with that, like, I think a few days ago, like, I was just in campus and a lady was like walking across, and I usually like tend to greet people. It's like, like terve, like in Finnish and everything. So like to her, like terve, she just looked at me and just like ignored me. And I was like, I was already used to it, but like still, like you still have that like shock in deep down. I was like, like,
shit, people are impolite.
And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go about my day.
No, but it depends. It depends, because I've noticed that, example, when you try to be polite in like the southern part of Finland, y'all already know what area we're talking about. We're bashing places, but I have enough people that have said the same thing. Even the natives have said the same thing, that area, some reason people are impolite. Like, okay, I understand, it's a hectic place, a lot of going on, people be in a hurry constantly. But in around here, if you're polite, if somebody looks at you and you say something politely, most likely they will respond to you back. So people just don't like to start the initiative of like talk to you or some shit. But if you start having conversation, they will be polite with you. But how about Ideal? You want to add out to this?
Continue. I love this conversation. Continue. I love this conversation.
He's probably thinking all of that sound like, you want to add to it a little bit?
I don't have like much add to it, because it's a great example of, like you said, you're a hybrid to us. I was born here. You came later on in your life, and you came as a kid. So it is a great comparison when it comes to like belonging, that even though 3 of us have come into this different culture in different aspects of life, in different times of life, we still have that same feeling. We don't belong here. Fit, different thing, like you said. We fit here because I don't know how well you know now the language,
Pretty well. I mean, I
Pretty
studied
well.
it.
Yeah, study.
So,
Yeah, you're studying it. So
He
basically,
went to high school, so he...
you know the Finnish language, especially if you don't care about it. So all I'm saying, but it is always a shock. For example, you go somewhere and then you start to fluently speak Finnish. Always a shock, right?
yeah, exactly.
And then they start to like be curious about it. Like, how do you know Finnish so well?
Yeah.
But have you noticed? I don't know, but have you noticed? A lot of Finnish people don't want to admit that you speak fluent Finnish. They don't want to admit, or they don't recognize it, or they don't say that, hey, you speak very well Finnish. There are, I'm saying, for example, I don't know if you remember our chemistry teacher in high school.
High school, yeah?
Yeah,
Female?
a female. Yeah. She was the nicest person ever. She said to me and the homeboy, she said that, listen, I don't know where you came from, I don't know how long you have been in Finland, but you speak very well Finnish. And from that point, I was like, well, hold up a second, that's very true. Because
you're even thinking, you're like second guessing yourself. What? I was like,
well, because he knows if we write something down in Finnish, it will be inspected much more carefully than the Finnish people if they write something down.
Yeah, that's true.
In a sense of to find mistakes. I have found this, for example, when I did my thesis. The mistakes were found, even though they weren't wrong.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
Oh, you're putting it out like
This is a fact because it has happened to me, it has happened to the homeboy, and it has even happened. Think about this. Think about this. Think about this. It has even happened to one of my colleagues who did the thesis. She is Finnish, but she did the thesis, and she said I gave the same sentence to two different teachers, and they said this is right and this is wrong. Like,
wait, so wait, you mean like she wrote like kind of the exact same thing as you did?
No, not the same exact same as I did. But she took in just an example, like you two are the teachers, and I give this same exact sentence to you, and I give it to you, and you say it's right, and you say it's wrong.
Can we?
Wow.
And now you look at it like, well, somebody's lying to me.
Yeah.
So is it an opinion? Or is it a fact? So you see what I'm saying? Like that's where the language, and then that's why I said that we speak very fluent Finnish because we have raised into the culture. We have gone all our schools, army, and then upper schools in Finnish. Worked.
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 That's backstory.
That is a different story. But worked
Since the last episode, at least.
but worked in Finnish. The official language was Finnish.
You work at a place you speak Finnish.
And that's why I meant that they don't want to admit the fact that you speak very well Finnish. And the best part is that usually when it comes to myself, I'm talking about myself now, when it comes to Finnish language, usually I don't like to talk like great Finnish. Usually I like to just keep it cool, like say what
Our farming.
not in the sense of our farming, but I just don't. The Finnish language doesn't sound poetic. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound relaxing to your ear. This is a fact. This is not an opinion. Any Finnish human being knows this, that if we take an Arabic and we take Finnish, Arabic sounds much more poetic.
Now he's putting the I know the ones that are right now. He's ready for it.
We can have a debate any day, so come up. But and that's why I don't speak like hard professional language.
Get out of the country.
But if I so choose to speak a very professional, profound, academic language of a Finnish language, they would be surprised. Like, wait a second, how? Well, of course, how? Look at me. Look at me. But to what you said, to add up, when it comes to like belonging, I can see it in a sense when I go to my country. The difference. But you was asking me. I know. I can read the minds.
I was heading there. I wanted to build up. But no, in the language part, at least for me, I haven't experienced it in the same way. Because usually people tell me straight up, like, bro, you're like, bro, you speak fluent. Nigga.
Same with me as well.
You speak fluent. Like, literally, was it like last week? I got the same compliment. Like this, my coach's wife. She was like, bro, I've noticed something. When you speak, you sound pretty sensei.
Yeah.
Like even like sometimes in certain scenarios, I sound more native than native in itself. Because I've also have adapted to use different like accents. Because there's like the different dialects of Finnish as well. Like if you go to north part, south, or east, you got different dialects. So I've kind of learned to mix them all. And because I've worked in customer service, a lot of times when I speak on the phone, this one mixed baby homeboy was like, bro, I see you is a nigga right now, but when you speak, I ain't see no nigga. Correction, I ain't hear no nigga. I'm like, I mean, you gotta adapt. You know, that's part of the game. You know, that's where the fitting comes in, because people are like, okay, he knows our language, he respects it, and so on. But off topic to that, because you kind of like already started touching the area that I wanted to go in. When you go to both of y'all, when you go back to your home country, in your situation, technically, this is technically your home country, technically. But let's say your kind of like parents' home country. When you go back there, do people recognize that you are part of you belong there, or do they notice that? I mean, he looks like us, but he kind of like off.
Yeah. Actually, it's very interesting because I was there. Like I went to Mozambique last like Finnish summer, like European summer, and I was there for like June, like until August, like for a whole month. And like
there is winter.
Yeah. I mean, it's winter, but we don't. It's not like real winter. Yeah, it's not like
Finland's autumn at best.
We don't like have like snow and like all that, but it's like to put it, we have like summer and we have rainy season basically. Like it's still warm, but it does rain quite a lot basically. So like when I went there, like I feel like even for myself, like I think even me living here in Finland for like a very long time now, it's come to a point where it's like you're in a space where you go back there, but you kind of feel like out of place because you've also changed so much as well, because you've, lived abroad for so long. But also at the same time, you've been living in that country that you've been living in, but also you kind of, sometimes, like you said, you kind of feel a bit out of place as well. So you're kind of like in this gray zone where you don't know where you belong, basically, in a sense.
This is interesting.
Because actually our homeboy gave us the similar type of answer when he went actually abroad. Like, you might look the same. Like everybody realizes, oh yeah, he looks like us to some degree. But then the behavior, because we have kind of like adapted to mix two of them, or either switch totally to a different culture.
Exactly.
That he does not have the same aura as us. He don't slang the words like we slang the words. So and also I could in my situation I already know personally, without even like being there, I already know that I might have something very different because I've mixed the culture to a lot of degree to adapt. Where it comes back to the fitting part, that I'm kind of like, I might fit into both of them, but I might not fully belong in either of them because we are in the gray area.
Yeah, exactly.
But how about you, as somebody who's born actually here? When you go there, do they automatically like, get your ass back over there?
Well, they don't say it like that though, but get the hell out of here. No. In my case, it's interesting because for me, the language, for example, you cannot distinguish me. Like, I can speak as fluent as possible with the accent as exactly the same as them. So they cannot distinguish me out of my language, but they will distinguish me out of my behavior because I will be much more polite. I won't be rude to anything. And I don't have that, the vibe. I'm not saying aura again.
Aura again.
It's farming.
You're like avoiding aura, the aura word.
Because, it has been oversaturated, let's say like that.
My boy's gonna crash out.
But the vibe, it's very different from me and from the guy who has lived there. It's very different. Of course, it's the culture, but also the environment. It shapes you. whether you like it or not. It will shape in you, and then you can see the difference. For example, the guy who has lived here and the guy who has lived there, even though we have the same blood as them. Like
literally.
they can be relative to me, but the difference is magnificent when it comes to just the behavior aspect. So when I go there, I'm not feeling as I belong there, or even fitting in a sense. Just like here. I can adapt to it, but fitting in, in a sense, like fitting in and fitting in there, like I can do stuff and I can be around, and I can, if I go to a party, I will not be just an outsider there, but truly belong. Even though, think about the magnitude that even though I have the same blood in a sense. I speak the same language. I know the history. I know where we came from. I know where we're going. Even though we have all this, I go there and I'm considered an outsider. And then I come here and I'm still considered an outsider. So I'm battling this kind of identity crisis. I was battling an identity crisis. I have figured it out because you know me.
Who the hell are you?
You know me. You know me. But as you mentioned, like if we look at just the technical aspect, I was born here in Finland, but this was never my home. Home is not a place where you go around and you are always the outsider. But then I can also say that I was there and I was welcomed with the open arms and with the warmth. I'm not saying that I'm not respected. I can call now, I can do stuff that I could never do in Finland. I could fix stuff. I couldn't find a guy. Like I could do all those things. Like respect, yes, but the warmth, welcoming with families, for example, belong. No, it was never there, and it was never here. So this maybe takes me away from you and more so from you, because you had the belonging already in Mozambique, and you already experienced it a little bit before you came here. I have never experienced it. Of course, I'm not saying that I wasn't loved or respected through my family, my close family, or my friends. But when it comes to somewhere, I was always the outsider. So
that's very interesting.
The great baby.
Yeah, but
The great baby, I'm telling you.
to this we go to a question. Actually, I want to start off with Kentucky this time. When was the time that you felt truly that you belong somewhere?
Actually asked us. Give me that shit back. Give me that shit back. Actually, I would like to, because we haven't clarified to each other, what do we understand about the belonging? What is the term in itself? Because we kind of like gave it in a topic that we could kind of like some ways, in a sense, understand what you're trying to mean by that. But what is belonging to yourself? Is it kind of like a feeling, or you just know it, or what is it exactly?
I feel like with belonging, it's more like, at least my definition is just kind of being somewhere and you know that you're comfortable there, and you know that, like, I don't know, you just have this sense of like I guess the word kind of says in itself, belong, or you're like, I would say, just kind of knowing that, you know, you're comfortable there, and then people kind of see you as also being a part of that, you know, place, or, you know, kind of.
And how does it differ from fitting? Because that's the other thing that we kind of like compares it.
Because I mean, with fitting, it's more like you try, let's say you go somewhere and then you just adjust yourself to kind of fit in, or to like have like the same, let's say, culture as that place. But I think with belonging, it's more like you're not actually actively trying to, you know, be like, you're not molding yourself, like you're like naturally just, or like by default, kind of.
You're just you, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not by default. Sometimes you can also go there and like after a while you feel like you belong. But I don't know. I think, I would say with fitting, it's more like, you just go somewhere and you just try to, or maybe like, actually I would say it's more like you try to mold yourself into something that maybe might not necessarily be like your default setting, basically. So
Because actually, the other thing that came to my mind is for a moment that, we gotta say fitting in a sense that it automatically always fit. But there's a situation where you try to fit in, but you never fit in. So I'm like, is it also part of the belonging in a sense? But that's a whole topic on its own. But that's what, wanted, kind of like a description of how you see the belonging. So now we can go back to Ida's question.
Do you remember it or do I repeat?
no, you have to ask
Okay.
it again.
Now I can say it like this. When was the time that you felt truly belonged?
I mean, I don't know. I think I wouldn't say there was a time where I felt like truly, or like let's say there's a specific moment where I was like, oh, like I actually like belong here, or this is like like I actually belong here. I think it would basically, or maybe it would be just when I was, I guess, young and just, I don't know, in my home country and like just kind of being around, family and stuff. And yeah, I guess that would be like a description of a moment where I felt like I was belong. I wouldn't say it's, I would say maybe in that scenario, but I wouldn't say that there's maybe like or I'm not sure if you're asking that way, but
Yeah, I'm asking that way. That I want to know. I want to know that when was it that you truly felt belong?
Yeah.
That you belong somewhere. Of course, how you described it, you didn't think of it in a way that I belong here.
Yeah.
Like that's what I understood.
Yeah.
But go on.
Yeah. I mean, I would just say like, basically, I mean, I guess when you're just with family or like, with parents, friends, and just, in that environment, I think I would say that's when you kind of, or where I felt like I was belong. But yeah, like I said, I feel like it wasn't just like a conscious thing. I think it was just kind of, natural in that sense, basically.
Gotcha. What about you, my African brother?
Well, I kind of go same as you say, Kentucky, in a sense that I wouldn't say. Most of the time, I would say I would try to fit in because as a chocolatey guy as we are, we kind of like never feel like we belong in, especially in our current situation of having kind of like a mixed culture. You will never belong. You will at least never feel like you belong anywhere. So I was most of the time trying to fit in. Now that I think about it, because I might have slipped up before that. I felt like I belong, but in reality, it was more like I just fit in. Because a good example of it was because we had to go be a conscript because the law requires you to go to army for a certain period of time. So you can imagine I was the only black guy in our whole company. So yeah, you can guess how that went. But I mean, it was good in the day. I got along with everybody. So did I feel like I belong? No, because I always thought like I'm the black guy. I'm the only black guy. Blah blah. Because he's constantly down there, even though when you don't mention it, you think about it and. There's certain behaviors which you kind of grasp about, but say.
Yeah, and I was gonna say like you kind of got to the point where it was something that I wanted to ask as well. But at least in my experience, I kind of being here in Finland, I feel like from time to time you kind of get that. I mean, you always get that feeling like okay, like you've already like fit in, you've kind of adapted, you've adjusted to life here, but then you always get that reminder of like. You're not from here. Like for example, there's been times where I would go to a grocery store or I'll go to a restaurant, and then like the waitress or like the person that would kind of attend me, they would speak to me in English.
I've been there too many times.
And then like I would be there like like okay, I guess.
I guess here we go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
And then like I would respond to them in English as well, and I'd be like, because sometimes I would even have like that conflicting feeling like okay, like. Do I answer in Finnish just to let them know, like, I actually, like, I speak your language, but then at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I want to go that, like, back and forth, so I would just go with the flow and just, speak English, and I would just answer like that. And then, also in a lot of these cases, like, there would even be, like, a time, like, let's say if I would go with a friend, and then, we would start speaking in Finnish, and then, she would come there and it would be like, oh, actually, you can see like, okay, like, oh, he actually like speaks Finnish. And then she would start speaking Finnish with me. But then after a while, they'd speak English with me again, and I'm like
Confused.
and I'm like, oh, and then it's I've had quite a lot of those experiences for sure.
Unfortunately, I've been there way too many times. Like literally, you speak Finnish a moment ago. They see you speak
Yeah,
Finnish. They look at you directly in the eyes.
Literally.
They come to you. Hi, how can I help?
It's like, were we just speaking Finnish just 5 minutes ago?
And that is not even the worst part. Okay, I get it. Okay, they might kind of be questioning themselves. But when they question you, they ask you in English, and you respond them to in Finnish, and they still keep the English off. I've been there too many times.
I've had those.
And
I've
I'm
had those for sure. Oh my god.
We look each other in the face, and I'm like, I have option of either hopping in the English vein, or keep up the Finnish and make it more confusing for a moment. Like both be like,
oh yeah.
So,
Have you guys tried ever to speak another language completely?
yeah, like all of a sudden start speaking Spanish. Yeah, like what you mean, man? I gotta try to do that next time.
But that's actually a good idea. You just randomly start speaking.
Like I gotta try to do that. But what was I saying before you had the question or comments?
You were talking about you were on campus and then you
about the fitting, the fitting, because like we mentioned, the skin color, you always think about the in the back of your head, even though you might not say it out loud, but in every situation, like you mentioned, you go to store, you automatically, especially when it's majority different color people. So that's why I kind of asked you earlier, is it more about the culture, or could there be more of like, you don't look similar to me, so we might not belong in the same chapter? But to that, to in my sense, most of my life it's more about the fitting. Situation where I might felt like belonging is what you mentioned, family members. Not every family members, of course. In my situation, I kind of got a messy family situation. So not every family members, but close one, like with mom, wherever mom is, most likely I feel like I belong there as well. And example, individual relationship that I got with homeboys, with romantic relationship. Hey, we can't lie. We can't lie. You might sometimes be outside like, ooh, life is hard. Then you come home and you're like, oh shit, this is my place. So we can't lie about that part. There's like certain individual situation where you feel you belong, but group wise, I kind of don't have it right now. It's more of a mix of fitting in, because at least most of the time I feel like I play character, certain character to be like, oh yeah, cool, and so on. So yeah, even though like I mentioned to homeboys, I might be cool with certain homeboys that have racial tendencies. I'm cool with my homeboys.
No.
Hey, because everybody racist to some degree, so I'm cool. I get along with everybody. Like I mentioned before, like of course I'll tell my certain boundaries with the people, but I get along because all of them, even my mom. I even gonna say we what, but even my mom is racist to some degree. So I'm like, I feel like I gotta play a certain role with each and everybody. Oh, you don't like those people? Alright, cool. You don't like this? Alright, cool. That you're not just calm, constantly. But yeah, how about you, man? You just rolling your head constantly. How about you?
Yeah, I'm rolling my head because you're talking crazy. But on point.
Saying, even racist too.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Oh man, come on.
No.
He's racist too.
No, I'm not racist. You see, I have black friends.
That's like that.
No. It's that I fit in, but I might not like everybody. I fit in. He plays the role of fitting in, but he might not like everybody. Racially motivated.
I will go with this. Belonging. I don't remember I was ever belonged somewhere. In an honest sense. That let's put our hand to heart. And
Great baby.
I'm going to say that, hey, I belong somewhere. No, never. I don't remember once I was sitting somewhere, I was standing, I was doing something, I said, yeah, I belong here. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying that I wasn't loved or I wasn't respected or I don't have good friendships or great brother or great parents. Like I have all those things. But if I go to a group or to a community or sports or anything, it was never in my life. Or to the store, for example, or you name it once. To a wedding, you go to a wedding, even though it's a wedding from our culture, from our country. We know how to party in a wedding. Now he went to another wedding.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He went to another
No,
Who he said? I said we know how to party. I didn't say like nothing like that. Have you watched the 50 Cent documentary?
oh, dude. Ooh, dude.
No party.
Dude.
Said party.
I was
But-
shocked.
To the point, even though in those places that there are just us in a sense of same ethnic and same culture and same dancing and music and all the food, I still didn't belong there. Fit it in, like when we say fit it in, the only thing that comes to mind is, for example, the parts of a car. Like it fits in, but does it belong to it?
I mean, you can make it fit in. You always make things fit in, but should it be there?
You know what I'm saying? And to that, the part of just fitting in, even in fitting in, I have had difficulties because, yeah, I can fit in and I can get along with people, but to the point, how much do I want to? How much do I want to fit in with these kind of people or those kind of people or that kind of people? Like, that's a whole different question. But example, it's just an example that we are discussing. But yeah, not the way. But why you go to the Diddy party, man? Like,
I mean, let's be honest. You started the build up. Hey, you know how we party.
but that's a
And
fact.
then just like,
But you made
but
it.
you took it out.
Another way.
You took it.
He left it in the air like we should know how he party. So, I said he party like Diddy, I guess.
No.
Nah, dude, you did it.
Party like
Bro,
a Diddy or
nah,
some shit like that. Like, come on, now. He said you know how we party. Hey, that sounded like Diddy right there. So
No.
he party like Diddy, I guess.
No. Who said like that? Nobody said Diddy.
Yeah, I know. You came up with Diddy, bro. You put his name.
Do you want to meet Diddy?
I mean the way you expressed it, you know how we party.
Yeah.
And who says also the same type of thing? Dude,
No.
he does.
Nah,
Because there's
bro.
no party like Diddy party.
I think what happened was Diddy just ruined our minds, right? Whenever anyone said,
Hey, I said what I said. I said what I said.
But that was unhinged.
I said what I said. Our voices.
That was unhinged. But to the next question, actually, this was a good question because I liked it, you liked it, and you liked it. Next question: is belonging something in communities gives us or something we choose? So basically, do we choose to belong somewhere, or is it given? Now, I want to go from a personal experience. It's, in my opinion, it goes half and half. Because
I would agree as well.
this is my argument. Because half is that what kind of community is it? Like, you cannot choose what kind of community it is. What do they cherish? What kind of morals they have? What kind of culture they have? You cannot choose that. But you can choose how much you can adapt to it. Of course, now the question comes that what kind of culture do you have? Is it the same as we have, or is it something that actually aligns with the culture of that community? Example, I'm just taking an example. So I believe it goes 50-50, but I also believe from my personal experience that if goes 50-50, more likely to one of them will be that community will choose you than other way around. Like, it's given the recognition that, yeah, you belong with us more than, yeah, I belong with you. This is how I see it. But do you have any other opinions, or do you have any other experiences that you had this? Because I'm talking about now my experiences when it comes to Finland and when it comes to my land, where, like I said, when I go to my home country, I speak the language. I know the culture. I know how to behave there. I have everything intact. The only thing that separates me from them is the fact that I was born somewhere else, which I didn't choose. I didn't choose to born.
Now you gotta blame it.
But do you see the difference? That because only thing was that because I was born somewhere else, which I didn't choose to be born somewhere else, than them.
Yeah, that's why.
I'm not blaming. Did you choose? Exactly. So because of that, I will be treated differently. So that goes to the part that even if it's 50-50, I have done my part and my deeds, my dues, still they will choose that, okay, you're still an outsider. So this is my experience where I see it. But how do you guys see it?
You wanna
Open it up. Oh, did it party?
this guy?
About reflecting back to what I kind of mentioned before, that in my situation, I might like speak the language, do everything by the book, go school, work, do this, that, like the culture requires me to do. But still, to the end of the day, I would still not feel like I belong in because of, at least in my situation, biggest player is that I look different. So that's one big thing. And toward what you said, that community can choose that you belong in. In this scenario, at least how I see it, I would still not feel like I belong in because I'm like, look around and everybody's, more to their tone and so on. So that's why when we go to the store and we see another somebody who looks a little bit, because I mentioned probably in the previous episode, when we go to the store as a black guy, we see another black boy. We immediately greet them, even though we don't know them.
There's always that like camaraderie, just like, hey, bro, like,
hey, yo, you live in the top life, I live in the top life too. Like it's kind of like automatic. Like you feel like y'all belong together. Like even though y'all don't know. So there's that constantly. But even though, like I said, you might go through the book and do all that is required by you, which technically we have done it. We've gone to schools, do the due diligence and all the bullshit, but still feel like not belong. So you said that the group is the one that chooses you, not
from 50-50, even though you have done everything right, to the 50-50 still goes to the group. Because like you said, you have done by the book, right? But you still are the outsider. You don't...
Yeah, but no. The reason why I mention it, because I kind of agree and disagree for the reason of that, the group might do all of that they can to make you feel like you belong. Like, that's why I want to go back to, like, if the group kind of like never mention colors or like give you the feel that your color is the reason, or so, let's say that like the group is whole mixed, like there's basically what they chose on the culture, they did this and said, let's make a whole team out of it.
Or they are all blind.
Something like, I mean, it doesn't even matter. Let's say everybody's blind except you. So, in that sense, if you have never felt that your quote unquote, the thing that differs you from them, was it the physical, cultural, or whatever, has never been brought up or never made in a sense that it's something that you should think about, then of course, in that situation, you might feel belonging, even though you might be different in a sense. Compared to situation, we got all these Spanish people, and then there's this Mark guy that is white. Of course, you start thinking about like, shit, man. I mean, they might make me feel like home, but they still treat me a little bit different because I'm that Mark white guy, in that sense. So I would say yes, and in a sense also there's situation where it's neither, in a sense, like neither chooses you. It just ends up like you just, let's say friendships, which might start, example, toxic, bad in a sense, like y'all hate each other, bro. Fuck that nigga. Some shit, and something happened along the line, and y'all kind of like get along in a sense, and you're like, okay, that's my homie, that's my brother, blah blah blah. But the beginning was that y'all felt like y'all didn't belong or fit it together. So it's not about necessarily choosing, but it just comes naturally. Like you said, it's a feeling in the end of the day that you feel like you belong.
Yeah.
So, how about you? You just threw me under the bus. You can handle it.
Yeah, I would say like earlier when the idea was saying that it's like 50-50, like I do agree in a sense, like you are also like you are giving that belonging, but at the same time you also kind of, you know, you kind of make yourself like belong to a place, like, you know, like for example, at least like, you know, where I'm from, like, you know, being born in Mozambique and like knowing that, you know, my ancestors are also from there and all that stuff, so you kind of already have that sense like, oh, like this is where, you know, people that look like me are from, you know, we're from here, so you have that sense of belonging basically from that. But also I think, you know, you going somewhere and you might not necessarily not being from there because you look different, or, you know, you speak a different language or something like that, but then they also kind of making you feel like welcome, but and also not treating you like differently, or kind of like just treating you in a way where you kind of are reminded like, okay, like I'm actually like not, you know, part of this environment. I think in that case, yes, then you can definitely develop a sense like, okay, like I actually like belong here. And
good demonstration about this is usually example kids that are adopted.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
clearly is adopted by a different
That is a
national.
very good example.
Because they, especially if the parents treat them in a sense, they're just purely son, and nobody ever mentioned to them, hey, yeah, by the way, you look different to your parents. That kid usually tend to feel like they belong there automatically. But then in the situation where somebody along the line like, hey, yo, my boy, you look a little bit darker or whiter toned than your parents. Like, what happened? What happened between?
You change colors somewhere.
Exactly. In that situation, that person start feel like, okay, something off along. But if it's not never brought it up, then you will.
But in that scenario, I feel like it's more like outside. When you kind of go to the real world, that's when people from the outside kind of like give you that treatment. Like
environment effects. So environment basically affects. You.
For sure. For sure. Now I have a little bit quick side question before we go to the next question. Which one have more tolerance for differences, females or males? Because this is my argument. Guys are much more tolerant when it comes to differences compared to females, because rarely, very, very rarely, I have seen girls have friends who are from very different cultures. But I know a lot of guys who get along pretty good and have friends. Some are from there, some are from there, some are from there. Everybody makes jokes about everybody's ethnicity and culture. That is what I have seen more from guys than from girls.
That is true, because like for you like, let's say like during like at least in school times, like I feel like with the boys it was way more common. You find like, you know, a male like friend group of like guys from like, you know, different like there's like you have like a whole friend group, like average like international friend group, like you have this Asian guy and then like a black guy and then like a, you know, a white guy, and then like you have like a whole different mixture of like different cultures, and you're kind of like, you know, they're all there together, and they each one of them like appreciates each other, and like they kind of, you know, even like make jokes and stuff, and like, you know, and they all like basically like, you know, are familiar with each other's like cultures. But I feel like with girls though, like that's a good point. Very rarely have I seen like, you know, friend groups where like, you know, they have very different backgrounds in women.
Yeah, and also the age differences between guys. Like,
I
don't know how much y'all game, but I've noticed, you know, when you're in the chats with guys, like, how old are you? Fucking 19. I'm 20 something. Oh shit, I didn't know, but we chilling. And then one person be like, oh shit, I'm 50. Like guys just get randomly along with like all age groups. And the groups, like usually friend groups, like the tight friend groups, usually are this mixture of everything.
Exactly. I feel like also usually like I feel like with guys as well, like the moment you like turn 18 and upwards, like, you know, it's very common to see like friend, you know, like let's say like a 25-year-old guy that's like friends with like a 45 or like a 50-year-old, like, because at the end of the day, I feel like to an extent you have like similarities, although like there's an age difference, but just the way men think in a sense are still quite so similar. So.
Hey, our friend is green. Where are you from? He's from Greenland. What?
Yeah, with the guys, I would say like this: like guys usually start with a rough patch of disrespect, for example, of having something like, "Bro, you goofy," something like that. It just requires one. It just usually requires one little shift, like, "Hey, yo, bro, pass me." Somebody passed you some pen. I lost my pen. Here you go. Appreciate, man. And then it's
like that's very true. It's
snowball effect.
It usually tends to be like very like okay, like kind of. Not, I mean, I guess maybe hostile, but like not like. But you always have like that thing, like, oh, like who's this guy? Like, you know, I haven't seen him and stuff.
You remember when I came to like when we did this guy same issue. Like I came to elementary school. Look, everybody, I'm like the only black guy. I'm like, she. Then I see him. He see me. We're like, she. then I was kind of like. I don't remember correctly. Did I have issues with other or what? But this guy was like, "Hey, yo, pull up with us." You know, it starts with small like that. Like somebody like you might look at them a little bit different, but they're like, "Come with me, hang."
To me, he was a person.
Yeah.
When I first saw him, he was with his mother.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh well, he's a cool new guy. Come here. Come here." I never looked at him like, "Oh, he's black or he's chocolate." Like never.
And dude, remember in primary school when we transfer school? Because he said, "Man, fuck this school. I'm transferring to one that is closer to my home."
Because the teacher.
Yeah, we had. That's a whole topic of. But we transfer school to the closer one, the closer to our apartment. So, first day. This is a demonstration of how guys become friends all of a sudden. First day I came to school. Guess what the guys already said? "Hey, yo, my nigga." "Hey, yo, Tupac." "What you calling me Tupac for?" Yeah. They were like, "Oh, shit, we get a black guy in class." Good demonstration again. Only black guy in the class. "Oh, yeah. What's good, my homeboy? What's good?" That's how guys started building. Like, even though I wasn't no close friends with everybody, but guys became cool like that. Like, "Oh, yeah. Ain't no female be like, first of all, "Hey, hello, how are you?" Unless they're attracted to you to some degree or some shit. Might be, but they ain't open like guys. Guys first thing, "Hey, yo, my nigga. Hey, yo, you like Tupac too?" "Yeah, that's what's up." Like it goes like that. Or even if it starts negative, usually by time, of course, there's a situation where the relationship never like fixes itself because somebody's a bully or has a bad relationship with the parents, so on and so on. But usually, even the negatives one, with the time and with certain events, it builds up into a friendship as well. Like, man, in the beginning, "Man, fuck you, nigga, don't talk to me, man." Then one day you see him heartbroken or some shit, you like pass him a chocolate, some shit. Yeah, you're a real one. And then they become
like
best
out
friends.
of nowhere, you're just like buddies, like out of nowhere. You just like never, like you just realize when your friends like, oh, actually, like now we're like getting along out of just like.
Yeah, like same issue with the homeboy that I call kind of racist. He kind of like started off similar, like in a sense. Like I'm like, okay, cool, we acquaintances first. Then it goes from there. Like, oh yeah, you're a good guy, man. I usually don't like them niggas, but he's a good guy, yo. I'm like, wow. Like, it goes like off like that. About the females, how?
And I'm not saying the females don't make easy friends. Like, if the female meets another female, she will easily get friended. But then, also those friendships don't last long. Like, it can be a very small thing that breaks that friendship. For example, I'm gonna give you a best. I can give you a best example. Me and him, we have known each other for 20 plus years.
Well,
if I don't wish him happy birthday and he doesn't wish me a happy birthday,
are we squaring up? You're squaring up.
I will not care. I will not care that he didn't. Do you know why? Because I don't truly care did he wish me a happy birthday or not. He's my brother.
You forgot about me?
But he's now acting like as a female.
We're squaring up, man.
They are best friends for a year, 5 years.
Better demonstration is like, we might not talk for quite a while, guys, life busy. Sometimes she be busy. Niggas don't see for half a year. Then we see, like we saw yesterday. Hey, yo, what's good, my nigga? Bro, we were lit last night.
Like it doesn't even feel like you haven't seen each other for like a long time. It's like it feels like you just like saw each other yesterday and you see each other again, although you've been apart for like long, and you're just like, bro, like
dabbing it
what's
up,
like-
telling about
You
stories.
know when I saw this man for the last time?
No,
About 3 months ago.
really? No, I thought you guys like maybe you saw each other maybe like a week ago or like something.
2
We
months.
saw in December because the Wings place. Remember?
Oh yeah,
the hook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just recently opened. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
in like middle of December.
Yeah. Well, they are struggling, but I'm not going that.
Sorry for another 2 months. Around 2 months.
Around 2 months. Yeah, around 2 months ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Still, but this goes to my next point. And yeah, of course, because we don't have a lot of time as well.
I'm thinking about should I cut this into a 2 episode?
Don't you dare do that, bro.
No, it's over an hour, I think.
But we have a guest.
Amen.
Amen. So my next question, because we a little bit dipped out toes in it and then go back. What makes a group or a community safe enough to be yourself?
Ooh, I think can I start with that?
Yeah, sure.
I think
Sure. You're a guest here. The questions are towards you, my brother.
no, I think because I actually really like that question because it kind of correlates with kind of my own life experience like as a kid because I mean this is a bit personal but for example when I was during my let's say primary school years and stuff I mean I didn't have the best like of friends like around that time like it was just kind of like basically I was a part of a friend group that you kind of I basically felt like okay like I'm in here like I hang out with these people but I don't really belong there basically. Because like just the way like how I felt like I was treated and you just basically kind of noticing that basically and like just basically not having the best treatment as as possible. So I feel like with that wait I actually thought I lost the train of thought. Oh yeah I was saying like I think wait what was the question again? So I actually lost that.
So the question was that what makes it safe?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, back to that. So I think being in that environment where I was part of like a friend group where I wasn't safe, like in being myself and whenever I would be myself, I would always like maybe be mocked or get criticized. Okay. I think that is one like reason, one thing that makes you like feel safe to be like in a group like or like to belong somewhere when people actually accept who you are and like you're not like criticized or like you're kind of on the same wavelength of like the kind of things you like or the kind of things you do and you're not kind of seen as maybe weird if you do something or that and if you're like different.
Hey, even my homeboy I was still telling bro you goofy hey honestly that's something if the friend group have the honesty that's Why are you passing me this? It was just it was a side comment. Oh, it's my turn.
Do you want?
I don't know exactly, but so what question again?
Safe enough to be yourself in a group. What makes a group?
I mean, safe enough for first of all honesty.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
the friend group is like purely honest, of course, there's times where a friend group be like, I might not say fuck that nigga this day, but example, if you have a bad day or something like that. But usually when the friend group is very honest with you with everything, even if you ask like, I want to do this thing, blah blah, should I? Or they give the honest opinion about it. That's one, and you being yourself, of course. Jokes can be thrown around. That's part of the the dynamic as always with guys. But you're allowed to be whoever, and that's how they recognize you as well. That's how that nigga does. He always all over the place, bro. He goofy, but that's our guy. That's our guy. In that such situation, you usually feel like you belong. There might be a little own tensions here and there, but it's part of the dynamic. And then, how would I say? Situations, I mean, of course, all of the other things are kind of like titty beats of things, like ideal beats of, what you would.
Ideal.
Ideal beats, usually, because
no pun intended.
Because to the thing, I don't want to like too much kind of like small detail adjustments or small adjustment like friends gotta be doing this and that and that because everybody comes with their own personality and like I mentioned, for me, I get along with a lot of people like in a sense. So it all like part of like I said, they have that honesty they give you clearly the loyalty, even in the days where they might tell you to fuck yourself, jump off the bridge, but you kind of like automatically understand it, what they intention. So basically, y'all have that unspoken understanding of each other. That's are the situation where you kind of like start feel like you belong. And in my situation, I have had like a couple of like things that kind of, for example, money. Already if you're one with me, you know, I don't think about money. You know, if you're one with me, bro, we go store, we balling. You know, I buy your shit, you buy my shit. We don't think about the money. That's how I know we belong together. You know, no homo, no homo.
Like you're not keeping like score of like, okay, like dude, I did this for you, and then so like, you know, I have to give you back. It's like,
funny thing, I actually had to teach one of my friends. No, not you. Don't worry about it. I had to teach who is actually a really close friend, but I guess his upbringing kind of caused him to think about too much. Bro, don't worry about it. You know, if you got me today, it ain't up that I have to pay you tomorrow.
But I mean, just holding your thought. But I mean, also, I feel like it happens because to an extent, I feel like I can also relate to that because kind of, you know, you just kind of you have a lot of bad experiences where when it gets to a point where you actually find like a good or a good friend group where you actually feel safe and you actually belong there, but then at the same time you like you get like these kinds of treatment and like you kind of feel like, oh, actually like, okay, like we're going out and this guy's like paying for me, but it's like, okay, like the last time
what's behind it,
like, and then you're just like, okay, you're kind of like not used to that, but then you kind of have to like rewire your brain and be like, oh, okay, like actually it's all good, like it's.
Yeah, because I've gone outside a couple of times with friends, like go to eat or buy something. And I get my boys whatever need, especially if I got a situation, you know, if wallet is good, we good. We up. Basically, it's the sense that if I'm up, we up.
If the pockets are full, then
we up. We just up.
Everybody eating.
Exactly. That's the logic that especially like close group usually have. So I'm like, you know, don't worry about it. Like people are saying, oh yeah, how much should I pay you back? Bro, get your ass back. Get your back. Get back eating. You know, let's talk about other things. Like that's usually a situation where when we have the same understanding of that, then I feel like okay, I belong in this group and some shit. Of course, there might be a lot of differences in ideology of you know, like example, religious or whatever. But that's kind of like off thing. That's where I mean about the nitty bitty grits, which kind of like goes off.
Yeah, but that's also what I want to add to that point as well. It's like it's not like you have to exactly be like the same. Like it's just also knowing that okay, like there's differences because at the end of the day, like we're all different. Like everyone has their own like beliefs or ideologies. So just kind of like knowing okay, like you have like certain differences, but also like still accepting each other basically.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, hey, yo, you want asking questions out here? You trying to look around, left, right, like so avoid the question. How about yourself? Tell us about your experience, because you be saying a lot that I don't feel like I belong. So let us hear what makes you feel like you would belong.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody and everything. To me, actually, it has been more clearer and clearer in the space that I work with, people I have, especially now. Consider customers, but the relations that I have had now, it has been much more clear to me that certain values or certain morals, certain creeds and convictions are too par to me considering you as my brother or as my friend, close friend. I'm talking about like a work friend or a colleague or like a guy who, like we said, acquaintance. It's completely different. When you say a friend, it actually means a lot to me. As
yeah, I agree.
It is a very close thing. Yeah. Like you said before, you know us. If we go, for example, somewhere and we are paying something, many times we have that beef with him. Don't pay. Who do you think you are?
So I feel like he's the one that like whenever he goes, like you gotta pay, like he gotta pay for everything.
Bro, don't worry about it.
But do you know what's the worst part? The worst part, of course, if we take a lovely little lady to a date and you know us, we pay.
Yeah.
We pay.
Yeah.
I ain't even going outside if I can't pay. I ain't even kidding.
Have you seen the reaction of a woman? How they react to it?
Bro, one was almost comparative to. I mean,
dude.
Off topic, but I offered to pay. For groceries and so on. To be polite. it almost cost a beef, like, because like he mentioned before that, a lot of them are being taught of being independent, blah, blah, blah. So it comes off like you're calling them like they can't handle or some shit like that. So it's kind of had the, how would I say, kind of like mixed message nowadays that it's being interpreted in the wrong way. And I'm like, see, bro, can't even offer help.
Yeah, because like it doesn't mean it, like you kind of offering to pay. It doesn't mean anymore like, okay, like you're being a gentleman, like you just wanna be that. It's more like, oh, like, so you think I can pay for my groceries? Like, is that
and it goes back to what you mentioned before, that they might have the experience of there's an intention behind it, or some way of, he trying to hook up or some shit like that. I'm like,
I told you on the date.
Not even date, like as a friends, when you go outside, you're like, I got this time. I mean,
What he say? What he say? So you do have intentions there.
No, if we hang around and you pull me to your place to come to...
What he say? Hey, yo.
I plead the fifth.
And you called me. You called me a liar.
Hey, like I said, no. Even to my homeboys, because that's the thing where I go back. Like, of course, I understand if I do it only to females and tell my boys for yourself, then I would like. But even to my homeboys, sometimes when I go to get to the store and they gotta buy something and they're like, I'm sorry, money. I'm like, bro, I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. Like, especially if I have, and I know it's not gonna conquer me, like make my wallet go, ooh. then of course I'm like, and I got like, I don't take it as a scoring board or anything, but I got receipt where I can tell, like, I've done it to my boys, like, it's not a thing like I worry about, because especially if I know you will do the same to me, then of course, then we don't got no boundaries. Like, hey, yo, bro, I got money for Lambo. You need a Lambo? I got Lambo. You got a Lambo now too. See, that's that.
Yeah, but the reason why I said is because I have experienced it many times. Because I would never especially if I'm going on like a date, or if we're going to eat somewhere, I would never let a woman pay.
Bro, and equally sexist.
Yes. Yes, a woman cannot drive. I said that. Anyway. Anyway. No.
That racist. Bro,
But
hey man, you said it.
yeah, that's on me.
That's on you, man. That's
on me.
Hey,
Don't go around these guys.
you gonna get it associated.
These are just innocent black men.
Hey, I didn't say stuff.
You heard what he said? It's a black man.
Okay, but the point I wanted to make is that every time I have done that I have paid for a coffee or for that date or for food that we ate, they always have this kind of conflicting sense. I'm talking about my personal experience, because they have this conflicting that I should feel like I'm being undermined. Like you said, like I'm not independent, or I'm taking care of it. But why I feel good? Why I feel? Why I want this? Like they always have that. And the first time a woman actually, in a sense, questioned it, like, do you do this always? I said yes. With only female, I said no. I do it with my parents. I do it with my brother. I do it with my friends. I have money. You have money. We got money. You don't have money. I have money. We have money. Simple.
My money is your money.
We say we go out eat. We go out eat. We got money. We got money.
If I go with my mother somewhere, she will never pay for anything. Whoa. Simple as that.
Damn, but you're a great son, man.
Well, she raised me. I could never pay her back what she did for me.
Yeah.
When I needed, because we were all children, right? We were all babies.
Yeah, definitely.
She was the one who was taking care of me.
Yeah.
And then, for example, for my father, the same thing. Now, father and mother, they are from an old school, traditional, hardworking, proud that they are working. So therefore, if you spend money on them, they always say, "Hey, who you think you? Like always goes." But and I'm okay with taking that shouting, but I am still also okay with the fact that I have enough resources that I can pay to my parents. So in a sense, yeah. But I have also, I'm ready to take the toll, right? If my mother screams at me for a little bit because I have spent some money on her, that's okay with me.
If it comes with that, then hey,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
take
okay with me. But I understand also where they come from because they are very proud of what they do know, but that they work.
Yeah.
And the money that they spend on for good of the family.
Yeah.
So when I spend, they say, no, you need to spend for your family.
Yeah.
But the reason why I said this is because I have seen so many times, and she questioned me, and then she said, "Oh, wait a second, whoa,
What's your intention, my boy?
what's your intention?" And I wasn't like being, I wasn't being a little slimy or anything. She already knew my intentions. Like I wasn't.
I'm trying to put the pot down.
Nah, bro. Nah.
You heard the pause. He said, she already knew my intention. What you mean by that? What you mean by that, my friend?
My intention was to go on a date with her. That's it. It wasn't. He paraphrased it differently.
Oh my god.
So I'm very questionable, my boy. He already know what. Bro, you sound like you're trying to lay the pipe. I'm just saying. After the virgin stories, we can't believe nothing.
Wow. Anyway, before again we went this way, the whole point of it was that even though they feel conflicted, they feel good about it. And then afterwards, if you still showed up, like you actually showcase that you're not a slimy guy who just wants to pay and then go to sleep with her, but you actually are a gentleman about it. Yeah, like, boy, who is you? What you do?
And then you let it.
Wait, no. I don't know what you're talking about. The last question would be actually the one that you already discussed it and answered. Would be that can we still belong if we are not the same? And you already answered that. And we are actually running out of time in a sense that an episode is very long. So, any last words, Kentucky, before we wrap up?
I mean, yeah, I would say it was, I don't know, I guess basically to say it was really nice to thank you, Ideal, for inviting me to this.
You heard the man, he said it himself, he said Ideal.
And that, this was like, it was such a fun, like, conversation that we had, and it was quite cool. And also, like, it was so crazy that before we even started this, like, we had like a whole, like, it was like, I think like close to an hour that we like had like a whole warm up before starting the actual like podcast. So technically, if we're actually filming the one before, we would have had two podcasts actually.
Facts.
So yeah.
Facts.
So yeah, it was quite good. So yeah.
The only issue was we kind of government thing, you know.
Well.
Oh yeah.
It was GTA 6.
Yeah.
References.
Release date. Yeah.
You know how they like to.
Did you hear what he said?
GTA 6, the release date. You know.
Which release date?
GTA 6.
Oh shit! No, it never coming, bro. That shit never coming. That shit. SD5 or some shit like that. Oh yeah. What we got? The GTA.
GTA. Any last words from you, my brother?
But no, anyway. Appreciate Kentucky for having you on this episode. It was a great conversation. You know, we would like to have you more in the episode as well, because I bet the viewers as well enjoyed your background and your own perspective on the belonging part and fitting. And is this our first time meeting as well?
First time?
Yeah, meeting. I haven't probably seen you in Okay, nice. How old were you again?
We're same age.
Oh shit. I'm just saying. So yeah, no, I enjoyed this episode like very well. Like I hope the viewers as well enjoy it, because as you saw, the conversation felt very natural. At least to me, it was way more fluent than in certain our topics, you know. So this was nice. And yeah, how about you, as the guy who has been holding the bat or the Is that called just bat or no? It's a club.
Wait, is it like you always like hold the stick? Whenever
Yeah,
you,
it's kind of like a warning sign. You're quite too long. What you say? Hiya!
A hockey stick.
A hockey stick, exactly. So, what would you say? That's your final grace.
Final grace to the end, beloved.
Yes, sir.
For me, it was an enjoyable as well. Thank you so very much, Kentucky, for being here. And for me, the whole point of it was that it's not just me and him talking the topics, and because even though we are great at having a conversation and having a podcast and doing this type of content, it still will be repetitive after, because I don't know if you know, we have done almost 50 episodes.
whoa,
Like me and him, almost now.
damn, bro.
And
Just
if
us two.
not just us two, but for the guy was, and just me and you, we have done.
Did you count the first episode? Or no? Did you count it from like when I hopped in? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one, and then afterwards, when you also was added,
Oh yeah.
and then like if we count together, about 40.
Okay. Nice. He's mentioning when I was actually a visitor before I became a co-host. You know, it was back in someone. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, hey, pull up. You know, you had a good perspective of it. You was in a relationship, but you ain't anymore. So tell me about your background. Like, see.
It is one of our watch one.
Hey,
really?
yeah, people like to see when the black man is hurt and all that, so they want to see. Okay. So that's how struggle looks like. I like that shit. He was honest.
They felt it.
I bet all the guys were like, see, he be talking what I need to.
That's me. I'm white, but that's me.
Put that guy.
But like you said, the conversation in itself was very natural. Was very, very fluent.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a lot of. It wasn't a lot of that, or it wasn't a lot of blabbering, like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
It was very clear in the sense that okay, the conversation goes this way.
Yeah.
Even if happened that okay, off the rails, but then come back to the rails, like that. And in our podcast, I don't know how much you have listened or watched. It goes like that.
Wow.
Usually it goes like that. It goes a little bit off the rails.
Oh yeah,
not a
what are
lot.
we talking about?
But then we go back. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Of course, like he said, in the future episodes, we would like you to come back
Yeah, for sure.
when the topic and the
Also
theme
something
is
if you have in mind, as
And
something you
of
want to
course
speak
that-
about, or in general, just have us go through. Then we can also go by that, because we usually when we do episodes, we're like, what should we talk about next episode? Then he throws a list, and then we're like, 1, 2, and 5 seems very decent for this. And then we go by that.
basically.
And worst case scenario, it usually happened like, well, so what time you getting out of work? 5. Okay, let's do it at 6. Basically, with all the work tiredness. So
Yeah. Today I woke up at 6 a.m. Went on to
wake up
work.
6 a.m. tomorrow too.
Went to work, did all the day work, and then just hopped into his car and came here. So basically, we just go.
Immediately.
But you know what? It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Hey, you remember the night shift?
Oh yes.
I
yes.
did like episodes. Like I was doing day and a night shift at the same time. So basically, right after I got out of work, I had like around, I would say, 4 to 6 hours, depending on. When I got out of day work, I got like about 6 to 4 hours, depending on what time I get out.
Yeah.
And during that time, I come do a podcast, and literally I got like 2 hours to sleep.
Whoa.
To do another circle of 15 hours.
Yo.
But hey,
Wow.
people got to do what people got to do. We put on the work.
Damn.
We put in that work.
Definitely, bro. You're going ham, right?
Hey,
It was just caffeine and pure dedication.
that's how it goes. But last word said. I'm gonna say the last word. You know what to do. There are buttons over there. Like, comment, subscribe. And if anything else, I think we are pretty much done.
Pretty much.
All right.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching us. Peace.
Because there's no party like Diddy party. We are cutting out that part.